It's not uncommon to wonder if you're using your child's orthotic correctly. And I get this question all the time. Am I doing it right? Well, we're going to go through a few things of basic principles to make sure that your child's orthotic is being used correctly. But if you want more detailed information, make sure to visit our website where we have all sorts of information, especially for our pediatric patients. Now, first things first, the most important thing when your child starts to wear an orthotic is to make sure to follow the Breakin Guidelines. It's not uncommon that a kid will put the orthotic in. It will feel weird at first. They might complain a little bit, but then once they're off playing, they forget that it's in their shoe. The problem with this is that the foot is being used in a different way, which also means the legs are being moved in a different way. And so they can play for a very long time and then their legs might become tired. Or the next morning they'll wake up and their legs will feel very fatigued because we've worked new muscles. So even though it seems kind of mundane and monotonous to do this break-in schedule, I really encourage you to stick with it because it will encourage your kid to wear them because they'll actually feel comfort from them. So first day, 2 hours max, put an alarm on your phone because your kid probably won't remind you that they want to have them taken out. The next day you can increase to 3 to 4 hours. The following day increase to 4 to 5 hours. Usually by a week, a child can easily wear them all day long without any achy side effects. This is usually done best on a weekend because you're at home. It's obviously hard to do during a school week, so make sure you just schedule it appropriately. The second thing is making sure that they're in the right foot. And I know that's super weird to say, but we see this all the time. Adults and children will come in with issues with their orthotic, and we look in the shoes, and the right's in the left, and the left is in the right. And it's obviously easy for kids to screw this up. Now, in our more common orthotic that we prescribe to children, it's actually written on the bottom. There's an L for left or an R for right. But I actually recommend for the kids to just go ahead and write it with a Sharpie, right or left, on the top of the orthotic. That way, they can start learning their right or left. We can encourage that activity, but it's a constant reminder every single time you're putting your shoe on that it's in the right foot. Now, the next thing is to not stress out about the rules. The goal is not to wear the orthotic all of the time, and it's going to be different for each kid depending on their activity level and depending on what we're treating them for. But most of the time should be your goal. So if we think about a toddler who's just always on the move, we're going to go ahead and try to get them or encourage them to wear shoes most of the day. But it's also okay for them to have downtime in the evenings, in their pajamas, laying around with the family and playing around barefoot. That's not going to harm them as long as it's not an all-day activity. When we talk about teenagers, they should wear them to school, but when they get home, let's be honest, a lot of them are playing video games or studying or doing homework. It's okay for them to be barefoot or shoeless in the house as long as they're not doing a ton of activity during that time. Now, the last thing is being sensible with breaking the rules. I'm realistic. I'm a parent. I know that my kids aren't going to wear tennis shoes and orthotics all the time, especially in the summer months when it's sandal season and you're going to the beach and you're going to parties. Your kids are going to wear different kinds of shoes. So the goal during these times is be sensible about it. Try not to use the really cheap flip-flops. Use a better sandal with somewhat of an arch support, something that's strappy so it stays on the child's foot, and avoid having them run around barefoot outside. That's just not safe for a whole lot of different reasons. So if you still have a lot of questions about how to use an orthotic with a child, feel free to call our office and talk to our staff, but also make sure to check out our website because we do a lot of these, so we have a lot of information available there for you to explore. So thanks for listening today.